The discovery of a new highly infectious COVID-19 variant has got
The arrest of a former Minneapolis police officer for the murder of George Floyd, failing to stop another night of rage.
The Russian attack forced millions of people from their homes and caused a global
possible milestone in the pursuit of clean energy. Here's what the Washington Post is reporting, the Financial Times as well, that scientists have made a major
break. The United States dollar under threat. Russia, India, China, and South Africa have announced plans to develop a new
liftoff of the Delta rocket carrying blast, a gamma-ray telescope searching for unseen physics in the stars of the galaxy.
Why are we making electric cars? Why does it matter? It's because it's very important to accelerate the transition to sustainable climate.
Hi, welcome to the Wise Edition. Sit back, get a glass of water, and enjoy the episode. BRICS is an acronym that refers to 5 emerging economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The alliance was started in 2001 as BRIC and later on in 2010 as BRICS when South Africa joined. These countries are characterized by their large populations, abundant natural resources, cheap labor costs, and rapidly growing economies. The BRICS countries are seeking to build stronger economic and political ties among themselves to increase their influence on the global stage, taking back power from the United States and European financial organizations which favor decisions that only benefit them. The whole point is the de-dollarization of their respective economy.
Now, the global domination of the dollar is under threat as more countries in the developing world are looking for alternatives. The latest call to replace the US dollar for global trade has come from Brazil's leader, Lula da Silva. He wants the groups comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, or what is called BRICS, to have a common currency.
The dollar being the global reserve currency means that the USA can impose sanctions on your country for any reason, whether justified or not, as seen with Russia in recent times. This move to get rid of the dollar will obviously have the USA worried and monitoring the situation at all times. Regarding the US dollar's dominance, it is important to note that the dollar is the world's most widely used currency, dominating international transactions, and it has been the dominant global reserve currency for decades. This mostly because of its use in the international trade of oil. Oil is a powerful commodity, and whichever currency is used to purchase oil holds a lot of power. This is why the USA has so much influence globally.
Another battle that the West is fighting, a battle of narratives, a battle to win new allies, only that it is failing miserably at this. Forget new allies, even old friends of the West are ditching it, like Saudi Arabia. First, it refused to ramp up oil production for the European Union, and now it wants to be a part of BRICS.
There have been some discussions in recent years about the potential threat posed by the BRICS countries to the US dollar's dominance. One reason for this is that the BRICS countries are seeking to increase the use of their own currencies in international trade and finance, which could reduce the dependence on the US dollar. For example, China has been promoting the use of its own currency in international transactions and has established currency swap agreements with other countries to facilitate the use of the currency. China has also been giving out loans to poorer countries, this in order to have a political edge over the USA when those countries make policies. China has been on a mission to overtake the United States and be the #1 global superpower, and joining BRICS is just one way they're trying to do it. China is the biggest economy of all the BRICS nations, and its currency or some form of the currency's spin-off would likely be favored for transactions if BRICS is successful.
Brazil and China have already struck a deal to bypass the dollar when paying for trade goods, which is a major milestone in Beijing's long-term plans to establish its own currency, the yuan, as the dominant international currency.
BRICS countries have also established the new development bank and the contingent reserve arrangement. Institutions which are intended to provide an alternative to the traditional Western-dominated global financial institution. As dominant as the US dollar seems, cracks may be starting to form underneath the surface. Since the recent pandemic, the US government has been printing a lot of money. Over 80% of the dollars in circulation right now were printed in the last 2 years. If any other country printed that much money at that rate, they would likely crash in no time. Printing money rapidly has led to interest rates spiking and an all-time high inflation in the USA. The prices of all goods are unstable. printing money does not increase economic output but the amount of money in circulation. Consumers will want to buy more goods which are not available. Businesses respond to this by increasing the prices of those goods, inflating the whole economy to unsustainable levels if not dealt with correctly. There are also fears that the currency might no longer be worth as much as the United States would like the rest of the world to believe. Amongst these fears, there are fears that the overall global economy may be heading towards another recession. These fears can be justified by just looking at the economic trends just before the last recessions happened. A key warning sign for an oncoming recession is a decrease in levels of spending and investment. Statistics show that people in the United States are now spending less and less because they are afraid that a recession is nearby. This is causing them to hoard all the money they have because of uncertainty in the economy. Another major issue besides the money printing and recession fears in the USA is that banks are failing. There have been 3 bank failures in 2023 alone. The first bank to fail was Silicon Valley Bank, followed by Signature Bank in the same month, and now First Republic Bank has followed suit. Americans are now moving their money to larger banks in fear that smaller banks could fail any moment now. This has made smaller banks even more vulnerable as they are at a risk of bank runs. Banks like customers are also scared of the current situation and have resorted to cutting down on loan approvals in fear that they may experience a bank run and not the money and crash. The American economy depends on banks lending out money to facilitate growth. Without this lending, the economy starts to suffer. This is why the government is working overtime to try bring confidence back into the economy. The USA economy is not as strong as it has been in recent times, and this could be the perfect chance for BRICS to challenge the dollar and come out supreme. The USA will try by all means to stop this, but only time will tell if the dollar continues as the global reserve currency. However, it is important to note that the US dollar's dominance is deeply entrenched, and it would take significant time and effort for any alternative currency or group of currencies to replace it as the world's primary reserve currency. Additionally, the US has a large and well-established financial system, and the US dollar is still seen as a safe haven in times of economic uncertainty.
And this group may soon disrupt the global power structure. It's expanding. As many as 19 countries want to join the BRICS, and this is very significant. In a divided world, this group may emerge as a force to reckon with.
Thank you for watching this video, and please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe for more.